Hello, and welcome to G Fun Facts Online, where we dive deep into the amazing world of science. Today, we're exploring a fascinating topic that's right at the cutting edge of medical research: the intricate dance between our genes, our bodies, and the fight against disease. And the star of our show? A tiny but incredibly powerful component within our cells: mitochondrial DNA, or mtDNA for short. You might know mitochondria as the powerhouses of the cell, but their story, and the story of their unique DNA, goes so much deeper, influencing everything from our health to how we respond to groundbreaking treatments like cancer immunotherapy. Scientists are now uncovering how variations in the mtDNA we inherit can actually determine if these life-saving therapies will work. So, buckle up, because we're about to unravel this genetic mystery. First off, let's talk about these mighty mitochondria. They're famous for generating ATP, the energy currency our cells use to do, well, everything. But they're also involved in cell signaling, growth, and even programmed cell death. What's super intriguing is that mitochondria have their own DNA, separate from the main DNA in our cell's nucleus. This mtDNA is a small circular piece of genetic material, thought to be a throwback to ancient bacteria that shacked up with our early cells billions of years ago. Human mtDNA is pretty compact, encoding 13 essential proteins for making energy. And here's a key fact: you get your mitochondrial DNA exclusively from your mother. That's right, it's passed down the maternal line, from your mom, her mom, and so on. Over vast stretches of time, mutations have occurred in mtDNA, leading to different lineages called haplogroups, which can even trace ancestral origins. Now, given how crucial mitochondria are for energy, it's no surprise that when they falter, things can go seriously wrong. Defects in mitochondria can lead to a whole range of conditions known as mitochondrial diseases. These are caused by mutations in either the mtDNA itself or in nuclear genes that help mitochondria function. These diseases are incredibly varied in symptoms and severity, affecting any part of the body, but especially energy-hungry organs like the brain, muscles, and heart. Think muscle weakness, developmental delays, seizures, and more. It's complex, partly because cells can have a mix of healthy and mutated mitochondria, and this mix can differ between tissues. Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about cancer immunotherapy. This has been a game changer in cancer treatment. Instead of directly attacking tumors with chemo, immunotherapy boosts the patient's own immune system, particularly T cells, to find and destroy cancer cells. Think of immune checkpoint inhibitors that release the brakes on immune cells, or CAR T cell therapy, where T cells are supercharged to target cancer. It's led to amazing results for some patients. But here's the hurdle: many patients either don't respond at all, or they respond initially, and then the cancer becomes resistant. Figuring out why this resistance happens is a huge focus in cancer research. It could be the tumor itself, or something in its surrounding environment. For a long time, cancer research mainly looked at mutations in our nuclear DNA. But now, the spotlight is also on mitochondria. It turns out that mitochondrial problems and mtDNA changes play a big role in how cancer develops, grows, and even how it responds to treatment. Tumors often have mutations in their mtDNA. These can mess with energy production, churn out damaging molecules called reactive oxygen species, and help cancer cells reprogram their metabolism to fuel their growth. Plus, mtDNA leaking from damaged mitochondria can act like a danger signal, stirring up inflammation and affecting the immune response. This brings us to the really exciting part: the link between the mtDNA you inherit and how you might respond to immunotherapy. Recent groundbreaking studies are showing that your maternally inherited mtDNA haplogroup can actually predict your chances of responding to cancer immunotherapy. For instance, a major study on metastatic melanoma found that patients with a specific mitochondrial DNA haplogroup, known as MT haplogroup T, or HGT, were much less likely to respond to common immune checkpoint inhibitors. This was a landmark finding, an inherited genetic marker outside our main DNA that can predict immunotherapy resistance. So how could your ancestral mtDNA variants, like those in haplogroup T, actually cause this resistance? Well, there are a few fascinating mechanisms being explored. One idea is that these mtDNA variants might impair the development and function of T cells. Remember, T cells are the heroes of immunotherapy. If their development, maturation, or ability to kill cancer cells is hampered because their mitochondria aren't up to snuff, then the treatment could fail. Mitochondria are vital for T cell energy, activation, and survival. Another angle is the tumor microenvironment. Mitochondria and their byproducts can shape this environment. Certain mtDNA backgrounds might make the tumor microenvironment more suppressive to immune cells, for example by influencing immune cells like macrophages to actually help the tumor. And then there's something truly wild: mitochondrial transfer. Scientists have discovered that cancer cells can actually transfer their own mitochondria, often carrying mutations, to nearby immune cells, especially T cells infiltrating the tumor. These are like Trojan horse mitochondria. They can cause dysfunction, metabolic chaos, and oxidative stress inside the T cells, ultimately exhausting them and stopping them from fighting the tumor. Sharing mtDNA mutations between cancer cells and these T cells has been linked to worse outcomes for patients on immunotherapy. The discovery that inherited mtDNA can predict immunotherapy resistance is huge for personalized cancer medicine. Imagine being able to identify patients who are unlikely to respond before they even start treatment. This could spare them from ineffective therapies and side effects, and help doctors choose better strategies. And this isn't just for melanoma. It might apply to other cancers treated with immunotherapy too. These findings also open doors for new treatments. If specific mitochondrial problems cause resistance, maybe we can develop drugs to fix them. This could mean stopping cancer cells from transferring their bad mitochondria, protecting T cell mitochondria, or even boosting healthy mitochondria in immune cells. There's even research into supercharging T cells by giving them healthy mitochondria, a field that's being called organelle medicine. And since T cell metabolism is so closely linked to mitochondrial function, scientists are also looking at ways to tweak this metabolism to make T cells better cancer fighters. Of course, there are still challenges. Mitochondrial genetics are complicated, with things like heteroplasmy, that mix of good and bad mitochondria, and the interplay between nuclear and mitochondrial genes. We need more clinical trials to confirm mtDNA haplogroups as reliable biomarkers and to test these new mitochondria-focused therapies. So to wrap it up, our understanding of mitochondrial DNA has come a long way from just being the cell's battery pack. Inherited variations in our mtDNA are emerging as critical players in our immune function and, fascinatingly, in how we respond to powerful treatments like cancer immunotherapy. By untangling these connections, we're paving the way for more precise, more effective cancer treatments, bringing new hope to patients. The journey into the world of mitochondrial DNA is definitely not over, and it promises even more insights that could reshape medicine as we know it. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online. Join us next time for more scientific explorations.